Hi everybody, welcome to Francis Ford Coppola Winery and our next edition of Who What Wine Pair. The who for today is of course myself, Chef Tim Bodell from the winery here, and a member of our incredible winemaking team, Evan. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We're going to have a lot of fun. The what that we'll be focusing on today is hot dogs in celebration for this wonderful weekend we have coming up, the 4th of July weekend. Really excited about that. And the wines that we're going to be featuring today, similar to our last Facebook Live episode, are this beautiful, diverse line of our diamond selection of wines here, which Evan really knows in and out, and that we're really looking forward to having some fun and exciting and inspirational ideas for pairing with all these different hot dogs. So, you know, being a native Philadelphian, I know the importance of you know, the integrity of these regional dishes. You know, the Philly cheesesteak is a very special dish, near and dear to my heart, and you know, it has to be made very particular, just like the roast pork sandwich in Philly too. So we're going to do our best today to go through about 10 different hot dogs and throw a couple of fun items at the end. So we're really excited to be here. Thank you all for watching. I wanted to let you know that we have a very special promotion today. It is, you can buy 6 4-packs of these diamond cans. So Evan, what do we have? We have Sauvignon Blanc,
yeah,
Pinot.
there's a Chardonnay, there's a Pinot Grigio, and a Pinot Noir here.
And they're just delicious, and especially for these hot summer weekends. Having those in a cooler in your backyard at the campsite or at the beach is just a great thing to have handy. So you can buy 6 4-packs of the diamond cans for just under $100, which is a screaming deal, plus $5 shipping. So log on to our website, thefamilycoppola.com, and enter the code DIAMONDCANS at checkout to get yourself that awesome deal.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I guess without further ado, let's jump right in there.
Sure.
I'm going to be doing my best to talk about these regional hot dogs. Please ask questions as we go. Let me know if I misspoke about any ingredient or any topping, and please educate me. But I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be a lot of fun. So first off, we are going to talk about a very timely hot dog, the Nathan's hot dog. Every July 4th, as most people know, Nathan's holds a hot dog eating contest. This has been going on, I believe, since the early 70s. And the current champion, which we won't be attempting to break that record, ate 71 of these hot dogs with the buns. So this is the Nathan's hot dog. Very excited to try that. So it's a straight up bun, plain bun, and a hot dog that's been griddled for 30 to 40 minutes prior to plating it or assembling it. There's no condiments on this hot dog at all, traditionally. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this.
Let's do it.
Evan, you got some thoughts on what maybe you would like to start with this plain all beef hot dog?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a little bit, and that, you know, in general, when you're wine pairing, what you want to do is not have the food overpower the wine, and not to have the wine overpower the food. So I think that with this, looking at the lineup of what we got going on, this might be maybe the least over the top in terms of like maybe either spiciness or richness, and so I think I'm definitely going for something a little bit lighter on this one. Okay. Something that has a little bit of acidity that maybe cuts through some of the heavier flavors. So I think I'm going to go with the Diamond Chardonnay on this one. Excellent. Yeah, I think that might pair up well. The Diamond Chardonnay. This is a California one. This is a 2018 that I'm holding. Okay. It's a screw cap, so I think it's, you know, we're looking at this background here. We have this wonderful, so we're here at the winery. The wind's picking up, sorry, but we're at the winery and we have the pool at the winery, and so I think this is a great 4th of July setting. So let me just crack this open for you.
Sounds great to me.
Let's see if we can have this.
And here's your classic Nathan's hot dog for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
So what are we gonna? I think we should have maybe a little cheers here at first,
and
then we'll go for the condiments or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks,
cheers.
Evan.
Thank you so much for inviting me, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
It's really nice to have you here. So what kind of tasting notes do you observe with this wine?
Well, in the entry, I think it's got like a nice like melon tropical tone.
Definitely.
It's got some passion fruit and peaches and pears, and so it's very fruit forward. But then on the back end, it has like a lot of caramel and some of the oak components.
Excellent.
A little bit like perceived sweetness and thickness on the palate, sort of mouth coating, and I think it's nice and bright and lively. And I think what I like by the pool is I like something that has like a lot of pop.
Yeah.
It goes well with the weather. I don't know what that is.
So refreshing.
I've met some people that really like the heavier reds on a big hot day,
Ooh,
but like,
not me.
yeah, sometimes it's nice to kind of have chill out with a white wine too.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Yeah, so I think
Beautiful.
this is going to be a good one.
Excellent. All right.
So what would we?
So we're going to go straight up on this dog.
We'll go straight up. Okay,
Straight
so
up.
no
yeah,
comments.
yeah.
Okay.
We're going to kind of pretend we're the reigning champ, Joey Chestnut. Channel our inner Joey, the Jaws Chestnut. He's the champion at Nathan's.
Yeah. Classic.
Delicious.
I just think baseball.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What else are you going to think?
Watching a good game. Boy, baseball's right around the corner too. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
No, I think that's going to be a great pairing.
Yeah, and you like a little bit of like a honeysuckle too on it. It's nice. It's nice. It's kind of like kind of pairs up with the bread and the fat on the dog. I think it's good.
Yeah, that
buttery.
you know, and this has enough body and substance that actually holds up quite nice.
I think so.
Doesn't get lost. Very cool. Well, hopefully this session here inspires some people to try some hot dog and diamond wine pairings at home this weekend. Everybody's going to be around barbecuing. And
I was excited to come today because I thought like, well, you know, you could have all kinds of things, but I think that personally, one of the great upsides of wine with food, that complement, I think, is just the liveness of the acid that kind of pops out and cuts through. I mean, I think that if you could choose something, I'd definitely look to the wine to start things off.
Yeah, love that. Wine and hot dogs.
Definitely.
That's beautiful. Great pairing. That is terrific. Thank you so much. Boy, that is good. You guys got to try this at home. And I imagine those hot dogs are widely available online, so give it a try. That's delicious. Now, so we have the Chardonnay in the cans as well?
We do. Actually,
right?
I didn't mention that. Yeah. So we got in the cans. We have like 3 different varieties that I can see from my angle. But yeah, the Chardonnay's right here. It's the gold label, and it matches. Then we have the Pinot Noir, which is, let me see, we have here, and we have the Oregon, and we have the California as well, which is great. And then we have a Pinot Grigio. Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio, but I see the Pinot Grigio here. Don't see Sauvignon Blanc. Okay, so basically, we have some cans that we offer, which are great for just throwing in the cooler and having it poolside. So we thought it'd be a good venue to show this.
Yeah, awesome. Can we crack one open?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's try one of those Chardonnays.
Okay, let's do it.
And we could drink it right out of the can, is that right?
You can drink it right out of the can. What would you prefer?
I'm going to try it out of the can.
Okay, there you go, sir.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
And I got this. Which one is this? This is the Sauvignon Blanc here?
No, it's got the Chardonnay.
Oh, you got the Chardonnay?
You got the Chardonnay. Sorry, I got the Chardonnay and you got the Sauvignon Blanc. Sorry. I just looked at the color.
Oh, cool.
Here you go. There you go.
Okay,
sorry.
Excellent. All right. Let's try this.
There you go.
Now, will the tasting experience be much different out of the can versus the bottle? Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. I think that, yes, is the short answer.
Yeah.
But I think that when you're looking for something in a hot, like, nice cool day like this, like you don't want something that you just gonna pop open and you know what you're gonna get.
Something satisfying about drinking it out of a can.
So yes, it's different, but I think that overall the enjoyment's about the same.
Oh boy, yeah. Boy, that is to die.
The winemaker in me is to pour it, but like honestly, I think that a lot of people, you can take this on a picnic, right? You can go in this environment, you can go anywhere you want on a hike, and you just pull them out of your backpack, your cool backpack, and it's ready to go.
Oh man, so cool. Boy, that is delicious.
Definitely nothing wrong with that.
Boy, that is spectacular. What a delicious wine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, moving right along. Next up, this is a dog near and dear to my wife's upbringing. She was born and raised in the Seattle area. This is the Seattle dog. So it's a Hebrew national dog. It's a toasted bun, and on this bun, we're gonna when it's warm, we're gonna smear it with a little cream cheese, the dog and then top it with onions, sort of heavily sauteed onions. So this is a cool story about how this dog came about. In the late 80s, a gentleman who owned a bagel shop in the Midwest moved out to Seattle, and pretty much how the story goes. So he wanted to continue that tradition that he had built of making bagels and, of course, serving them with cream cheese. Well, the people that would be hitting the bars in the Pioneer Square area would come out, and they were really craving just kind of a hot dog on a bun. And here was this bagel guy serving cream cheese. So, you know, he kind of, you know, resisted for a long time, but he eventually, you know, migrated into, instead of offering the dog on a bagel, he began serving it on a toasted bun. So then this was born, and it really took off. So you can find it throughout the Seattle area and at the sports venues and things like that. So we have a plain bun here.
Okay.
We're going to do a real quick toast on it.
If I can help you in any way, let me know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't want to step on your toes or do more harm than good. But
yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So let's get a couple of these plates ready. So what are you thinking when you're thinking cream cheese, you know, sweet caramelized onions? Anything coming to your mind there?
Well, I mean, obviously, the sweet caramelized onions. I think it's something that has like a lot of flavor. It's like it just really jumps out. And so in order to stand up to that of what we just tasted, I still want to keep on to something that's bold enough to stand up to that.
Okay.
I think something that has quite a bit of, you know, a little bit of oak influence on it. It's going to help. So I think with this one, I'm going to go with the Pavilion. I'm going to keep the white wine flowing here and see what this does with it. The Pavilion here is one in our golden tier of diamond wines, so it has the net.
Yeah, beautiful.
And that is a sister wine of our claret right here.
Yeah, which is my favorite.
Many people know. You can see in the supermarkets. But I'm selecting this one, I think, because the oak influence is pretty high. And I think that this might bring out some of that, like the fat on the palate is also going to match some of the butteriness notes that you can get on the wine. It's really floral as well. Okay. So like what I do on these are the netting.
Yes, thank you, because there is a definite
there's a thing.
particular way that has to be done.
So you pull the net to the side, so it kind of dislodges it from the bottle. Then you reach down at the bottom here, and you pull it down, and you just twist.
Nice.
That way, you do not take the net off the bottle. So this Pavilion, it's kind of known for having a little bit of maybe a white flower tone in it a little bit. It has a little bit of, once again, the typical melon that you get in a Chardonnay. A lot of butteriness too with the malolactic fermentation. It's just that right amount of like kind of thickness on the palate, and yet has that brightness as well. And once again, still a lot of the pears and peaches. Just a different rendition of Chardonnay. I think when the diamond, what you see a little bit more of is maybe a little bit more of I don't know, classic coastal influence of, like, say, Monterey or something like that, or where you get like a little bit of that marine layer that comes in and cools the grapes off, and then it burns off, and then you got a warmer day in the end. You know, like after the fog burns off. So you can actually taste that in the wine. So for this wine, I think that you get a lot of that, and you just get maybe just a different rendition of the oak. So it's something to try if you haven't tried yet.
Very cool.
So here, I'm going to pour you a little glass, okay?
Yes, please. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. One for me.
Excellent.
Get a little shot of the bottle here. This is our Pavilion. Right here.
All right, and here. Here we go.
Oh, thank you.
So I think the key to this dog is, you know, a nice smear of that cream cheese on the toasted bun, which will allow that cream cheese to sort of melt a little bit, and a little homage to the roots of this dish, you know, being a bagel, and then really piled high with those nicely sautéed onions.
Interesting.
I'm looking forward to trying this.
Let's try this.
Yeah. Here's to my wife and all the Seattle folks out there.
That's good.
Well, Boy, those onions sure do add a nice sweetness.
Yeah.
Richness from the cream cheese, and kind of cuts through that saltiness
Definitely.
of the meat, but also adds a nice richness and
Definitely.
fattiness as well.
Yeah, no, the wine is like, the wine has a, like that buttery tone on it that you get from the malolactic I was mentioning. It kind of like, it's created kind of in a similar process to cheese making almost.
Oh,
so
wow, cool.
It's, it kind of has that same kind of like ring to it.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
brighter acid.
Yeah, that is really delicious.
Wow.
Oh, that works for sure. That's really nice.
To be honest, like, I thought I knew a little bit about hot dogs, but I don't think I do. I'm learning.
Yeah, it's a deep hole you can dive in.
Yeah, I mean, I had cream cheese on my bagel this morning, but I never tried it on a hot dog. I have,
kind of makes sense, doesn't
yeah,
it?
like a sesame seed bagel, but with cream cheese, and it's classic. But yeah, it's good.
Now, do you find with winemaking, I mean, like when I think of like cheese making or making charcuterie, you know, it's almost like you don't know how it's going to be until it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have steps throughout the winemaking process where you can mitigate that surprise factor?
Well, I mean, there's the I don't go into the weeds too much, but basically control over risk and control over style and being consistent. Like all these things are what a winemaker does. But I'd say that like we are at heart experimentalists because we will do trials on things that we don't necessarily know, but on a small scale. So you're doing like a little bit of a test and seeing how it goes. And then if that's successful, to say you did a dish, right? And I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm not going to serve it to 400 people a day or something. I'm gonna test it out. So we do that too, and so we test it out, and you kind of grow it from there. So I guess the short answer is you want to keep the creativity high, and you want to keep the vision high, and you don't want to be too locked in on something. But at the same time, you want to go with what works. There's some classic things with hot dogs or with wine that you, or whatever food you're making, that you want to stick to.
Yeah, definitely. Stick with the classics, huh? Now, do you have any traditions on the 4th of July in your family, recently or growing up?
Growing up, yeah, I grew up in Southern California, and I would go to either Laguna Beach or Santa Monica or all other different places that had fireworks shows, and with family. So my family was all spread throughout there, so usually in San Diego as well, and we would go to that. But the big thing was the family. Like it wasn't just the fireworks; it's the family. So that's what my background was. And then we went to lots of baseball games. And the Angels were my team.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice.
So I'm an Angels person.
That's very cool. Very cool. Well, we're not eating an Angels dog today, but we're going to have a Dodger dog.
That's okay. I mean, it's okay. That was my childhood team.
Yeah. Well, we, it's going to be kind of a strange year this year. I guess there's not going to be too many fireworks displays, but we hope everybody out there has a happy and safe 4th of July.
Yes.
And we can always watch those fireworks on TV, huh? Good deal. Okay. So next up, we're going to be talking about a Detroit Coney dog. So in this region, there's a couple of sort of famous dogs, and Michiganders are very proud of their hot dogs, as they should be. We're going to be focusing on the Detroit version, although right down the road there is Flint, of course, which has a wonderful take on this dog as well. So the Detroit dog that we're having today, the chili is more what you think of in a classic chili. Both versions have no beans in them. This chili is a little more thick, and the Flint version is a little more like a thin sauce. The dogs are from Kogel's. It's a Vienna dog. It's served on a plain bun with chili sauce, also made from Kogel's. Now, Kogel's dog and chili sauce are both made in Flint, although this is the Detroit dog. We're going to put some chopped raw onions and some yellow mustard on there as well. So what are you thinking there? We got some chili, some little spice, sort of like those same flavor profiles that you would imagine a standard chili to be. Raw onions, that's usually a tricky one, huh?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like definitely trying to get the wine to pair, you want it to stand up to something of the stronger flavor.
Okay.
I want to try this, I think, with a Merlot because I think it's that a red wine that has a lot of fruit concentration, a lot of blueberries, some currants, black cherries, things like that. Not as tannic as they say maybe like a Cabernet, but definitely fruit forward and kind of bold. We've been making Diamond Chardonnay, Chardonnay, and we've been making a lot of Diamond wines, but the Diamond Merlot for a long time, and I think that our sourcing is going to stand up to this quite well. So I'll take a dive and try this to see how it kind of pairs up and brings out some of those bolder like onion flavors, like you're saying, and maybe some standing up to some of the other nuances that we're going to get. So let's just try it out, see what happens.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay.
I'm cooking these Kogel dogs over on our plancha here, on our backyard barbecue. Okay, see I have some other interesting previews of some dogs to come. So let's go ahead and assemble this. So once again, our Detroit Coney dog. That's a Kogel Vienna dog that we're going to top with Kogel's chili sauce, raw onions, and yellow mustard.
Yeah, Chef, I got you some Merlot here for you.
Excellent. I'm really excited for this pairing. I think this one's going to work. Classic yellow mustard.
Yeah. Merlot's known for being versatile, and it's known for staying up to food pretty well. So, I feel like, we're definitely kind of compressed. We're a little bit progressing up the line here in terms of boldness. So there we go.
Okay, so let's get a little chili on here.
Okay.
A little later, we're going to be trying a Cincinnati dog, which has a Cincinnati-style chili on there, which is sort of a totally different deal, different animal, if you will. Chili? Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead.
It's good color, good flavor.
Okay. There we go. I'm going to top it with some onions here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
that's for you, sir. My pleasure. Okay, so our Detroit Coney dog. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
definitely.
Now tell me what kind of notes you're getting from this Merlot as we begin to enjoy.
It's very jammy, right? So what I mean by that is like blue fruits, blueberries, boysenberries, blackberries, all the kind of like darker colored fruit that kind of is indicative of the color. And I think that when I first kind of tasted it, it has like this kind of interesting entry that has that fruit pop, but then it kind of goes into a little bit more of the classic mouth coating red wine, because it's not dry, but it's mouth coating, right? Okay. So, and then at the finish, the oak tone. So I feel like with any good red wine, what you're really looking for is kind of intensity, you know, and it's supposed to, our job honestly is you take the fruit from Mother Nature, like what you're given, and don't screw it up. you basically, you're coming in from California. We have a lot of nice warm weather out here, and the fruit gets pretty ripe, and it intensifies, and I think that I'm trying to communicate that back out to the customer and give them consistently kind of like good intensity, and Merlot is a little bit different in the sense that it can grow in cooler climates as well.
Oh, cool.
So it's versatile. It's versatile with food. It's versatile where it grows.
Okay.
And so we typically go a lot from Monterey. Okay. We have a little bit up on the north coast, up in Mendocino,
And so our blend is usually a marriage of those two, with a little bit of Petite Syrah to give it a little bit of a depth.
Wow.
So
cool.
So I think like any good blend, what we're really trying to do too is pair it with the food. So let's see if we're okay.
Definitely.
Let's do that.
Well, you're so knowledgeable. Thanks for sharing all that. And I love what you said about, we talk about a lot of that in the kitchen too, same sort of idea, maintaining the integrity of that product, right?
Right.
I mean, Mother Nature and the farmers and the artisans have worked so hard to, put these incredible products in front of us, and let's just try not to mess it up and treat it with a light hand.
That's right. It's like, if you're given good fruit to work with, you really want to just bring that through, like keep it clean. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities, like I was saying, between cooking and making wine, in the sense that it's a creative process. Absolutely.
I love that.
I like the mustard and the chili is a good combo.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Really, really, really nice. And I think that Merlot stands up to that. I mean, those are some bold flavors.
Yeah,
the chili and the red onion and the mustard. It actually pairs quite nice, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. It gives it more of a black cherry feel to it.
Okay.
Delicious. I'm gonna put this right here, actually.
All right.
You're gonna fill me up today.
What's that?
For sure.
All right. All right, good deal. Well, moving right along, we are cooking in live time. So thanks everybody out there for your patience. Trying to stay ahead here, a couple dogs as we go. All right, excellent.
All right.
Boy, that was terrific. Thank you, Evan. That is really wonderful. And that Merlot, gosh, that is just, I haven't had that in a little while. That is very, very nice.
It's definitely versatile, like I said, and it's a crowd pleaser. It's
easy
one of my go-tos, actually. And, I really like the presentation of the label.
Definitely. All right. Well, next up, we're going to take a trip over to the Carolinas.
Okay.
And we're going to try something called the Carolina Slaw Dog. So that is a Casper hot dog. A lot of people over there prefer to have that on a potato bun. It's topped with a mayo-based coleslaw, very sort of particular coleslaw from what I've heard and researched. So it's a diced plain cabbage with mayonnaise, vinegar, salt, and sugar, and that's kind of it. There's no carrots, there's no bell peppers, there's no caraway seeds or those kinds of things. So it's a pretty straightforward slaw. We're going to top it with, once again, a beanless chili. What we're going to be using is a Hormel chili, which I've heard is a great chili go-to if you're not going to make your own from scratch. And then if you order it with the works, then you're going to get all those ingredients on there. So what are you thinking? So it's a mayo-based coleslaw. Is that going to affect your decision as far as what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, when I think about the mayo and the coleslaw, I'm thinking that there's some spice elements, and it's not. The good. You know what? Here, let me give you the short answer here. The good news is with our wines, they're easy to pair.
I love that.
So what I'm trying to do is dissect which is the best one. Let me make that clear.
Nice.
I think with that though, it might be a little bit with the mayo and everything. I'm thinking. I'm thinking about. I want to diverge over to Pinot.
Okay,
but I'm thinking about a Pinot that is maybe a little bit like has more of a backbone, and it's a little bit more like bold than, let's say, like a cherry red Pinot, but more of a Pinot with a little bit more. It's maybe slightly more structure, but it definitely has maybe a little bit more of a nuance of earth tones, a little smoke, and everything else.
Okay.
Something that is one of the things that we have now is we have a winery in Oregon.
Yeah.
And I was gonna pour an Oregon Pinot.
Excellent.
With this one, just because my impression is that it has more of a bolder flavor.
Okay.
In California, we have, like I was mentioning, a riper, hotter weather climate, and
right.
in Oregon, the picking is I don't know, roughly the same timing, but the sugar accumulation is a little bit lower, so the acidity is up, and I also get a little bit more of kind of some baking spices and some other interesting nuances that you don't get in Pinot from California too much.
Cool.
So I think that like is a good take on maybe with coleslaw and maybe something that has some bold flavors, but it's not overpowering.
Okay.
So let me just try that out.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be a
terrific.
good one.
Now, what can you tell us and everybody out there watching about our Oregon property? Really
so
exciting.
First off, I just want to show you. It's also in the diamond tier or the golden tier. So it has the netting as well.
Yes.
And one thing I love about the netting is that when you walk in, say, like to a supermarket, for example, you actually can see it from across the store.
Absolutely.
You can just right on the shelf, like there's no missing
so
it.
unique.
Yeah, it's
I've
just
never seen anything quite like that.
Great idea from our Francis Coppola.
Yeah.
So we love it, and you pull the net to the side, pull it down, and here we go. So yeah, definitely in the diamond scale of things, it's something we've been doing relatively recently because a lot of their diamond wines we've been making for many, many years.
Okay.
So we're definitely getting our feet wet into Oregon.
Yeah.
But wine style wise, I would say definitely looking for something that has kind of like more of I would say a darker, spicier tone.
Okay.
Something that has like I mentioned earth, or maybe like something that has a little bit more of like a I don't know, like a black pepper tone, but in a Pinot. So the thing about Pinot though is it's so light and transparent that you can see anything in it. Like one of the hardest wines to make is Pinot Noir because any nuance in there is kind of amplified because there's nothing to hide it. It's just very
revealing.
Revealing, yeah, definitely.
Boy, that's a cool description.
Yeah, so I would say that the Pinot is a delicate flower that doesn't like to move around the winery. You just kind of wait and see. And you think good thoughts, and you just try to baby it, and that's what we do with our Pinot here. So let me pour you a glass.
Oh, please, thank you.
Do you see the color, right off the bat? Like it's lighter color, but in comparison to say maybe like a Petit Syrah, something really super dark.
Definitely.
Lighter color in general as a red wine, but still nice color. And in Oregon, we're definitely, I think, hitting our stride, going into the different zones and partnering with the growers and understanding that environment. As a California winemaker, it's exciting to me to explore.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. And how would you, describe the growing conditions there compared to maybe some of the Pinot regions here?
Well, I think that a lot of the Pinot that we grow here really well tends to be on the coast. There are Pinot obviously in different regions, but I think that it likes to have just the right amount of heat. It's very temperamental, so I feel like. But if you were to compare it in general to Oregon, like I said, like. Oregon's much cooler.
Okay.
So that's just the major difference right off the bat.
Yes.
A lot of the practices are similar, but it's just about hitting that sugar accumulation, which happens over time during the growing season. It's different. That's the main difference. And then how you open up the canopy to deal with any kind of moisture, maybe a little bit different.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Boy, that's amazing. It's so nice to have in our repertoire, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I have the hot dog here. We're going to top it with our classic mayonnaise-based coleslaw. And then finally garnish it with some of those chopped onions. Boy, that's a good looking dog.
Cool.
Yeah, here you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Evan. Boy, what a pleasure. So I take it, will you be having any hot dogs this weekend?
I might hit my quota. But you're kind of stealing the thunder of what I was going to do for barbecue.
Hamburgers it is, huh?
Yeah, or something,
wow.
ribs or something.
So
but I definitely it's a good good venue and a good choice to have some hot dogs today. So
yeah, definitely. Boy, it's really, I mean, is it the most iconic American food?
Probably.
Yeah.
Hamburgers, hot dogs.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I mean, because we may have stole it from the Germans, but.
So I get like when I smell like a lot of like a little bit almost coriander and spice, anise.
Yeah.
Like, it's got like a light dry herbs kind of on the nose, and then when I taste it, it's got like a little bit of a cherry entry. Cherry, like rhubarb, but then it kind of finishes into like more of a rich silkiness, like almost like a pie, like a cherry pie. Like it's kind of lengthens it out.
Yeah,
so
with
nice.
those baking spices all in there. Cool. All right, let's give this one a try. Looking pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Kudos to our awesome team here that put together all these great ingredients. They really did a fantastic job. Boy, that's good. I do like that. It's fun contrast too with that cold coleslaw and, and the hot chili and the
but it has
fun eat.
It has that like that little bit of the spice tone in the wine. I think that complements. Yeah.
Definitely. Yes, we have a question out there.
We do have a question.
Yeah.
In addition to tasty hot dogs, what other sides would you make for my Saturday barbecue?
Great question. Boy, I love potato salad on 4th of July. Grilled corn is always really fun, and the corn is just really starting to pop, at least out here in California. So those are two of my favorite sides. I think baked beans is really fun. Coleslaw, any kind of salad.
Right.
But you know, anything, you know, we love to talk about seasonality and those kinds of things. So I mean, July 4th for me is really the kickoff of the summer crops. I know in my garden at my house and the garden here we have at the winery, you know, the squashes are coming on. So maybe some grilled vegetables would be terrific. Grilled peppers.
Eggplant,
yeah, one of my personal favorites. A little polarizing to some people, but boy, I love eggplant.
Yeah, I like it to like, cut it thin and like put it on the barbecue.
Oh boy, you can't beat it. Yeah, but that's a great question, and please chime in. Other people that have idea on sides that they like to serve. Do you have any ideas on what you would like to serve?
I think you hit the really good ones.
Yeah.
I like to do like a fruit medley salad, like
good
do
call.
like it kind of is nice to have some fruit, like whether it be like, you know, pineapple, strawberries, honeydew melon, kind of like just like a little fruit salad like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Fresh, healthy.
Yeah, but potato salad's a good call. Like the potato salad would be probably the one I would go with.
Yeah. And the fruits are getting good right now. I mean, the strawberries are just perfect this time of year. Cantaloupes are getting good.
Yeah, cantaloupe.
Yeah. Excellent call. Yeah, you got to keep it fresh. It can't all just be heavy hot dogs, right? That's good to mix in some fresh things like grilled vegetables and a fruit salad. So thank you so much for that question. Keep them coming, and let us know about your favorite regional hot dog, and or any questions or comments that you have. So thank you so much. Yeah, good deal. Boy, what a great dog. Those Carolina dogs. Excellent. Okay, next up, a classic California dog.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if there are other regional California dogs. Please school me, anybody out there, but this is a real classic.
Okay.
It's a plain steamed bun, ketchup, yellow mustard, and relish. And you know, sort of what I find is like the comedically long dog on sort of a short bun. So you got this meat sort of hanging over the edge, which makes it fun. So it was introduced at Dodger Stadium in the early 1960s, and certainly has a cult following, and a lot of those sold at Dodger Stadiums regularly. So that's a great dog. That's a great dog. So let me go ahead and plate that. So what are you thinking for a Dodger dog? You know, you got a lot of.
You like to put me on the spot. That's your job. That's your job. Just doing your job.
The relish we haven't come across yet.
That caught my attention was that you said classic, California classic.
Yes.
And when first thing that runs through my mind with classic, I think for California is Cabernet. Because of our weather patterns being, That's our selling point. That's our thing that we do really well is that like even if it's cooler over here or windy over here, it's really warm over here. The average weather in California is a little bit on the good matchup for Cabernet.
Okay.
And then the choice is, well, which Cabernet?
Yeah.
And
what do we have to choose from as far as Cabernets?
Well, we got two main ones on the table here to choose from. One would be our Claret, which is I know it's very popular. It's something that everybody, a lot of people, I should say, have seen with the netting. It's the go-to for a lot of for people for good reason. And the other Cabernet would be our California Cabernet, called the Ivory Label. But between the two, I'm thinking about what we have in front of us and which one would I choose for which dish. So this particular dish, I think I'm going to go with the Ivory Label on this one. And the reason why is because it has this lively, kind of nice mix between more of the red fruit zone, which would be cherries and black currants and strawberries and things like that, and it's mixed in with a nice the tannin of a Cabernet though. We source it from all over California, but it's really kind of known from kind of having this nice Central Coast influence, which tends to have a nice kind of metally of different microclimates in there, so we can find some good Cabernets to kind of go in that zone that are not necessarily super inky, like dark and hugely stormy, but definitely things that are kind of like lively. And so for this dish, I think that we want something like Cabernet that's going to pop out a little bit more. So let's just open up this one and see how it does. But here we go. So this is our 17 vintage that I'm holding.
Excellent.
We have a question coming through.
Yeah. All right, question.
What type of hot dog will go well with Diamond Malbec?
Malbec.
Yeah, Malbec. So Malbec is it's in our lineup right here. I kind of think of Malbec and Syrah kind of being in the same sphere. They're a little bit like rustic, meaning that they have a more spice tone. They have more black pepper, clove, anise. When you compare them to Cabernet. So I'm thinking that whatever you pair with that would be probably on the spicier side.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think that I would choose something that maybe has a bolder, like some of the chilies that are spicier or something like that it would probably be good with that.
Yeah, or maybe some roasted chilies.
Yeah, roasted like peppers or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe some something with poblanos, something not too spicy, but a little char. And
exactly.
A little bit of heat.
Yeah, and in fact, the oak that we use for that has a little bit more of a char, toasted, smoky influence.
Oh, nice.
And I think it matches up with the fruit well.
Cool.
We do Malbec in California. We're actually we've been doing it for a number of years. And I think I was going to compare it. Like I said, the best corollary would be like maybe Syrah or something like that. So definitely something maybe with a little spice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good call.
So here we go.
Who doesn't love a spicy hot dog?
Yeah. Let me get
I guess this would be considered a low carb candidate here. An obnoxiously large hot dog on a tiny little bun.
Here we go.
So if you're on a low carb diet, this would be the dish for you.
Yeah. I kind of fluctuate. Sometimes I do low carb, sometimes I do not so much.
Well, our next dog, we're going to take it back east to where I'm from, the Philadelphia area. So, but this will be fun. I'll give a little shout out to the LA Dodgers. This beautiful, dark, rich color. And what are you smelling and tasting here?
When I smell it, I got like a slight vanilla, definitely has like a little bit of that barrel influence on the nose, a little bit of like a dry herb, and then I don't know, it's got like a little bit of like a medium toast barrel. So like a barrel that's not necessarily kind of like fully toasted and caramelized, but something that's a little bit more lighter side, and then on the mouth. Definitely cherries, strawberries, rhubarb. Some of the red fruits that you can think of. Currants and things like that too. And then it finishes with a little bit of like a slight tobacco or mocha or toffee, just a little bit.
Yeah.
As a cab though, like definitely easier drinking. It's more silky and soft. It's not like something that you would have to, all these wines where you don't have to age these wines for years and years and years.
Yeah,
a lot of the wines when you buy them, you please they're ready to go.
Go for it. Yeah.
Just go for it.
Well, that's nice.
There you go. So for this one, it's one of the things we really pay attention to is when it goes to market, it's really kind of friendly and approachable.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
These wines are intended to go on the table with a wide range of foods.
Yeah.
And so with this though, I think that it's nice to have a kind of a cab now. We're going into the cab country.
I love that.
So here we go.
That. All right, here we go. Let me take a few bites to get to the bun. Yeah, that's beautiful. What a shrine to all things right there.
Oh, like relish.
Oh, relish on there? Nice snap from that dog.
We have another question coming through.
Yep.
All right, yeah, please.
Lots of envious followers who would love your jobs. Any recommendations?
For getting a job? Wow.
Your jobs in particular.
Oh, our jobs in particular. Oh boy.
You want to go first? You want me
No, I think I would let you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
okay.
please. Sure.
Well, I mean, I went to school here in California at UC Davis. I knew early on that I wanted to be in the sciences, and I knew I wanted to be creating something.
Yeah.
So for me, the big choice was, do I want to do research and be in a laboratory, or in the greenhouse, or do I want to be in the field creating a product? And so for me, the creativity, which I think unites us as Coppola, is there. So I decided pretty early on in my college career to switch over and work in vineyards and greenhouses and laboratories, and that's what I did, and I fell in love with it. And my family history introduced me to wine at a fairly early age because my parents were into food appreciation and wine appreciation clubs.
Nice, boy, that's
so
cool.
like I was in that kind of culture. And
you were exposed to
I was
lots of
exposed to
different
it,
stuff.
and so then
nice.
for me, I would recommend first and foremost getting an internship.
Yeah.
Get an internship at a harvest job at some winery that you're connected with or whatnot, and try it out and start there. And if you're likely to fall in love with it, and if you do, then I would get some kind of certificate or schooling or whatnot under your belt, and get some work experience. And a lot of this business is about getting your foot in the door, and then knowing the right people who are knowledgeable and are mentoring you.
Yeah.
And mentoring that I had that benefit here at Coppola is that I had some really good mentors, or I have some good mentors here in this company. Yeah. And I came out and I worked, I graduated from college in 2005.
And where'd you go, you said?
At UC Davis.
Okay,
and I graduated from college in 2005, and I started working right out of college at here. And so this is my 15th harvest.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I was lucky in the sense that I kind of came into a nice culture here. Definitely. And so you kind of want to necessarily you can go to a big winery or a small winery, you can figure that out yourself, but definitely get a combination of work experience and education.
Yeah, definitely.
So what would you recommend for your chef?
Oh boy, you got to pay your dues, that's for sure. But you touched on a lot of things. You got to love it first and foremost. I think, right? I mean, it can be a grind working in a professional kitchen, long hours, very stressful environment. A lot of competition, and of course you want to please your guests at whatever cost. So, there's a lot of pressures there. But I was educated at Johnson & Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island, which which gave me a great foundation of the industry as a whole. But for culinarians, you really got to get in there and pay your dues. Yeah. There's no way around it. Just just like doing the reps winemaking. Unlike your upbringing, it wasn't quite the culinary scene of the Philadelphia area, right? So I don't know if my parents were any food appreciation clubs. As evidence of the next hot dog we'll be eating, the infamous Texas Tommy.
But you're highly creative.
Yeah, definitely. My mom, who's watching, hi Mom, love you. I think ultimately you just got to do what you love, and just hunker down and be patient and luck. You mentioned luck too, right? I mean, hopefully you know, you pay your dues and you work hard, and then hopefully you get an opportunity to do something great. But, you know, Evan, I know, just doesn't hang around all day drinking wine, and I don't just hang around all day eating hot dogs, you know. You know, what happens behind the scenes is a lot of hard work.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, a lot of hard work and dedication.
Yeah.
But also a lot of fun. Also a lot of fun.
I mean, you for winemaking specifically, it's a testament to your predecessors. You know, the cultural. There's so many things that go into wine, right? So it's history, economics, marketing, agriculture, art. It's science. It's just the whole thing. And so. The good news is, if you do go in the wine industry, is that there's some aspect of it that you probably will fall in love with. Yeah. Or that speaks to you.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to go about it too, right? Yeah. I mean, not just a winemaker or a grower, but what other kind of positions would they be in this field? You have people that works in the bottling line.
Do you want to design labels? I mean, like, there's so many things. Like, I think that. If in general, if you're looking at for a job, in general, the smaller winemaker or wineries, you're going to be wearing more hats. You're going to be driving the forklift. You're going to be doing quality control in the bottling line. You're going to be, you know, ordering stuff from suppliers. Right. And at the bigger wineries, you're going to be like, you are doing this. Yes. And you're doing it very well. Yes. And integrating with a larger team. Gotcha. So it's just first step. I would say, like I said, get an internship and. Try to absorb knowledge like a sponge. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Well, you know what we should do someday is switch. We should. Yeah. Let's do it. I'll sit in your chair and you sit in mine, and we'll see. Do it. Which office catches on fire first, huh? Oh, that's good, though. Boy, I love that cap. That is easy drinking, delicious. It's a sure bet. Yeah. All right, next up, a hot dog that I am just thrilled about. And our producers here have reminded me I need to take the toothpicks out of these hot dogs before we serve them, so we don't have an incident here. So next up, we're going to have a dog called the Texas Tommy, which originated about, I would say it's an hour northwest of where I was born in the Philadelphia suburbs. My mom used to make this for us regularly. And in fact, I called her before we started just so I had all the facts regarding the Texas Tommy and how she made it. So it was originated in a town called Pottstown, and it is basically invented in the 1950s. It was sort of a housewife sort of dish to make back then. So the way my mom would make it, she would cook the hot dogs, in the grill or in the oven, and then she would, cut the hot dog open and lay a piece of pre-cooked bacon, and then basically just garnish it with this incredible ingredient here. What vintage is that?
I think it's the 04. Just getting good right here. Okay. So that's how my mom did it. This is an authentic topping to this hot dog. Okay. We have taken a little creative license, not too creative because this is a common way to do it outside of the Philadelphia area, but we sliced the hot dog when it was raw. We ever so delicately piped in this cheese, if you will, and then wrapped it in some delicious smoked bacon, and we've been slowly rendering out the fat from that bacon, getting it nice and crispy and the cheese all melty, that kind of thing. So I'm excited about this dog. I probably haven't had it in a good 20 or so years, but shout out to D. Bodell out there watching and inspiring, really my love for food and, cooking really came from my mom. So she was a great cook and fed us 3 boys and our dad well. And this was one of those cool dishes. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these toothpicks so we don't have any incidents here.
Chef, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pair this with something a little bit bolder. You said bacon, and bacon's one of those things, honestly, that everybody loves. But also, it's got obviously the smokiness. It's got the richness, and there's some spices in there that you mentioned. So I'm gonna go with like one of the bolder wines that we make in terms of
big flavors. Like you got some caramelization here.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with something that has already in it a little bit of little bit on the toastier side of things, like chard or toffee or mocha. And so I'm gonna go with the Syrah. And we make a Coppola Syrah here. Syrah Shiraz. Shiraz is and Syrah are actually the same grape. Okay. But it depends on where you're from. If you're from Australia or from France and whatnot. But basically, something that's bold that is going to stand up to this.
Nice.
So let's try that out.
That sounds terrific. Very cool. The Texas, is this, I'm sure, not your first time having a Texas Tommy, or is this your first time having a Texas Tommy?
To be honest with you, you're making some stuff that I haven't tried, but I'm not complaining. Let's put it that way. No, I know I haven't had that before. I've had chili dogs and stuff, but I haven't had like specific regional dogs. So this is like this is nice.
Sure is. This is fun. I feel like I'm being transported back to Philly.
Yeah.
But it looks good.
Yeah, I get some like raisin plum on the entry.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a coriander and clove. So it's definitely all the spice world, right?
Yes.
So it definitely has that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, that is terrific.
Oh, wow.
What do you think? Would my mom approve, you think? Got to get the right ratio of
I wish people... I think everybody should make this right now. They should stop what they're doing, put everything down, and go make this. It's like that. There's like a cheddar or a cheese explosion with this, and also all the bramble caramelization, the sugars going on.
Yep.
It's nice.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, that is something special.
Yes.
Thanks, Mama Bodell. That was a good dog. Hopefully we did you proud.
Definitely. I'd have another of these.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's taking every ounce of me not to finish this whole thing right here. Yeah, boy, that is delicious. Yeah, yeah, tasty.
Chef Tim?
Yes?
Dad wants you to know he's watching too.
Really? Sorry. Dad, isn't it past your bedtime? Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Is he
Love you.
back east?
Yeah, they're both in the Philadelphia area. Yeah, rabid Phillies, Eagles fans, and lovers of all things Philadelphia. We've been trying to get them out to come out here to the land of California, but they are not interested. They got their roots deep in the Philadelphia region. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can't blame them. Well, you're eating Texas Tommies all day.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, can't go wrong there.
So what's next on there?
Oh, next up, this is something that, Evan and I I guess it was, just over 2 years ago, we did a really cool event in the Chicago area with Cooper's Hawk, a wonderful winery and restaurant, and a dear partner of ours. We went out there and did a wine dinner. And this next hot dog is the Chicago dog, which I had for the first time while we were there. So funny story, the chef I was there with and myself, we went on a driving tour throughout the Chicago area after I had called a high school roommate of mine and said, hey, are you around? Can you take us around and show us the Chicago area? So we picked us up probably around midnight. We drove around and we saw the beautiful city of Chicago. And he said, it's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. And he says, you guys hungry? Yeah, we're chefs, we're always hungry. So he pulls out in front of this place called the Wiener's Circle. And he says, I'm going to go park in the back, and you guys head in there and order me a hot dog. And that was my first exposure to Chicago dog. But if you haven't heard of the Wiener Circle, or if you're from Chicago, that is truly an amazing place. Kind of their shtick is they insult you the moment you walk in the door. So I think they may have called me Teletubby and some other things I can't repeat on air. But boy, they made terrific hot dogs, and it really made me appreciate the incredible Chicago dog. Yeah, but that was a great trip. Some good memories, wasn't it?
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cleanse your palate because we had that really rich food. We're gonna cleanse our palate with our Sauvignon Blanc.
Excellent.
Just gonna
just to liven it up for the next one.
Yeah, good call. So what can you tell me? Have we tried? Oh, we haven't tried the Sauvignon Blanc yet.
No, we talked a little like I pulled a can out by accident, but basically Sauvignon Blanc is kind of known for having a little bit more of a grassy element to it, a little bit of peach and tropical notes and whatnot. And so for Sauvignon Blanc, some people also associate that with like New Zealand and just the like jalapeno, like super green. So ours is somewhere in the middle where it's got a little bit of that grassiness. So, but it's the reason why I wanted to pour it for you just right now is just to cleanse the palate out. So after the heavy dish, just so that we can get ready for the next dish.
Love that.
Yeah.
Boy,
so,
that is just
there you go.
Spectacular. Thank you. Great idea.
Yeah, definitely a little like some grass and a little bit of a higher acid feel. It's good for cleaning it out.
Yeah, and you were saying this was a real popular varietal amongst our winemaking team?
Oh, yeah, I did mention that too. Yeah, so I'd say that like it's interesting. So personal favorites in a winemaking team right now, I'd say Sauvignon Blanc is probably. It might be number one, dare I say, but it's very good by the pool. Yeah. And in warm weather, it's versatile, and it's definitely for the people who love Sauvignon Blanc. They tend to be really loyal to it. They're very like, wow, that's a great. It's an interesting white. It's one of the most interesting whites because it's not a huge oak. Bomb. It's more of fruit driven, but that fruit is so unique. So I guess that's the best way to describe it.
It's terrific. Yeah. Thank you.
So I just want to pour that one.
Sliding that in there.
But we're trying to cleanse our mouth out from so to get ready for the next one. That you just described.
Wash that Texas Tommy down. Get ready.
Definitely.
Okay, so the idea behind a Chicago dog, it's a Vienna beef brand all beef hot dog. It's boiled as opposed to griddled or grilled. And it's somewhat particular in how it's assembled. First of all, it's a poppy seed bun, which we haven't seen yet. And these are, I mean, Chicago just has, what a great collection of iconic foods, right? Yeah. The Italian beef sandwich, that deep dish pizza. Oh man, we ate good when we were there, didn't we?
You're making me hungry.
Okay, so I had got a couple dogs swimming over here. So the idea behind these dogs is you want to give it about 5 or 10 minutes in this gently simmering water, and you'll know when the dog is hot through when it floats. So there we have our Chicago dog, Vienna brand all beef hot dog. Now this is really just all about the assembly here. So, and this is really a lot of different ingredients, so I'll be interested to see where you take this. So we're going to top this with sliced pickles, sliced tomatoes, a sweet relish, yellow mustard, and some pickled sport peppers. And then finish it with some celery salt, which I think is a really cool just sort of ingredient that kind of ties everything together. So this is, really it's a heavy duty hot dog here.
It's not for the faint of heart?
No, this is really a commitment here. This is a full meal. We got this nuclear colored relish here. It's a beautiful thing. Oh my gosh, this is getting me excited. Bringing back all kinds of great memories of that incredible city of Chicago. It was my first time there, and oh man, in a lot of ways it does remind me of Philadelphia. But boy, it's cold. You remember how cold it was? I think we were there in March. Oh man, I went for a walk around the lake there. Ooh, with that wind chill. Oh man, it was cold. So
I believe you.
I'm gonna go ahead and pile these pickles on here, then these beautiful sliced tomatoes, which are just getting real good this time of year. This is a beautiful dog. I mean, it's got a lot of components, but it's got a lot of freshness with the tomato. It's got some nice acid and some nice sweetness from the different pickles. A little punch from the pickles or the pickled peppers, that is. And the celery salt is really just kind of what sets it over the edge for me. So, did you have one of these when you were there?
I did.
No.
I skipped that part of the
Oh,
tour.
you did? Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't take me on that. I wish they did.
Yeah.
You know, and for the wine, you talk about these bold flavors, and so I'm gonna go actually with the Diamond Red on this one.
Diamond Red.
Diamond Red blend is the base on it is Petit Verdot.
Petit Verdot, cool.
Yeah, and then it also has a little Cabernet Sauvignon and a little bit of Syrah, Petit Syrah, some other red blenders in there. But I'm gonna pick this one specifically because the vibrance of a lot of these flavors they're kind of out there. They're very intense, and for Petit Verdot in particular, one of the things it has is a little bit of like it's got some violets, and it has some
violet as far as the flower.
Yeah, violet flower.
Oh, cool.
And it has some a little bit more of the peppers, but it's also got a little bit of a floral tone, like a little bit like white flower, like acacia and stuff. Nice. So I want to try this one out and see how that kind of stands up to the bold. That's that nuclear relish that you have on there. So I think that this one it's a bold wine, so I think it's going to stand up to this.
Very cool.
Cool.
And what percentage Petit Verdot is it mostly?
It's usually hovering in that 40% range.
That much?
Between 40 and which is a lot of Petit Verdot. It's a Bordeaux blender, so it's known for color and concentration. And so that's why I like it to be the mainstay of a red wine blend because it's really concentrated and bold. So let's just try this out.
Boy, I absolutely love that.
Yeah. And violets, a little bit of violets in there, right? And like white pepper, and a little bit of vanilla on the finish, caramel.
Wow. Oh boy, that is delicious.
Yeah.
Everybody out there in Chicago,
it's a strong wine.
You got to try this with your beloved dogs. Definitely. All right, shall we?
It's with the peppers.
Yeah, boy, that is a beautiful. We gotta get. Look at that beautiful dog there. That is really a work of art.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. How's it taste?
A lot of spices. It's got a nice. It's almost like having relish in its native form, where it's not actually relish yet, because it's like you got some peppers here and some pickles and strong kind of like acidic flavors and the relish itself. So it's just kind of like a triple whammy or whatnot. So it's very intense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the hot dog, since it's kind of boiled, I think loses a little of that salinity, and I think maybe that's why they do that little celery salt on there to kind of bring back that salt.
Right.
All in all, I don't think it's lacking in any solidity there. But boy, that is just delicious. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful hot dog.
So
well done.
So far, like, I don't want to play favorites. One of the things I'm used to doing in winemaking is ranking our favorites.
Oh, I love this.
So I would have to say that this one, because I like spicy food, I like this one, and maybe the Texas one are like on the top.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
They're really kind of bold, right?
I'm kind of with you on that one.
So far, I mean, like, I don't want to. I love them all.
Yeah.
I like those ones kind of stand out.
Yeah.
I think they're so intense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they are full flavor. That is a great hot dog, and I do love that Texas Tommy. I think those were probably a couple of my favorites too. Yeah, boy, and that wine is just, gosh, that is wonderful. And this is the red blend right here.
It's a red blend, yeah. It stands up well, I think, to the spiciness, because it has an inherent spiciness itself. It's got a little bit of a tannin into it. It's very inky, as they say, like sort of dark color.
Yeah.
Petit Verdot is known for that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
One of my favorite ones.
Wow, that is delicious. Well done.
Yeah.
Boy, you've been really nailing it with these pairings.
Trying.
Yeah, good job.
You're keeping me on my toes.
Yeah, little did we know we'd be pairing all these hot dogs with wines.
Okay.
Next up, we're going to do a New York City street vendor dog.
Ooh.
You know, also known, I guess you can refer to it as sort of a dirty water dog, which is how I understand it. So, did I do that right? Yeah. So we got the New York dog here.
So this is something that is
from the name, it's like something that's just super common to find? Or?
Exactly, yeah. So you'll find it throughout the city, and you'll find variations like this. I think in some East Coast metropolitan cities, you'll find something like this in the Philadelphia region too. You know, the dirty water dog, these carts with the umbrella, and you know, these little aluminum sort of contraptions where they keep those hot dogs.
So it's a classic.
Definitely, yeah. I think this is definitely a classic. So we're using today Sabret's skinless beef dog. And it's going to be a steamed bun with a spicy brown mustard, red onion sauce, sauerkraut, relish, and ketchup. So a lot of flavors going on that one. Now, I think the red onion sauce is something pretty cool to note. It's you know, when I first was researching it, it's not a red onion sauce, but it's a red onion sauce. So it's made.
Is that this one right here?
Yeah, exactly. So it's made with sort of onions that are sautéed down, and ketchup in it gives it some great. Gives it that great color and sweetness. And so here we have the ingredients for our classic New York City street vendor dog.
So when you say classic, I'm just going to jump into the wine too.
Yes.
Before I was talking about classic California Cabernet.
Yep.
I think that for this one it calls for claret, because it's some of these flavors are quite bold as well. When I think about that kind of iconic level, this is the wine that I spend a lot of time on.
The claret, cool.
It's so here's the bottle here. Like I said, most people are familiar with this bottle. They've seen this, and it's their go-to. And the reason why is because you know, you pop the cork at a party or something, and you want something that you can rely upon.
Yes.
This is one of those ones that people who come up to me and talk to me tell me that the most. They're like, oh yeah, you're the winemaker. Oh yeah, I that's the one I always serve. And I think that's one of our things is to deliver a value.
Yes.
So you're delivering for what you're spending and what you're getting. It matches up and everybody's satisfied. So,
yes.
So this is it's a Cabernet, but it has a lot of Bordeaux blenders in it. It's got the Petit Verdot in it. It's got some Cab Franc, some Merlot, Malbec, Petit Syrah, some basically off blenders, but the mainstay of it is the California Cabernet.
Excellent.
And it's got a little bit of a darker fruit profile. So it's got more plum, rum raisin. It's got concentration there, and also on the oak profile, more into the fire toasted realm. Higher fire toast would be like something that's giving you mocha toffee, caramel, tobacco, those kinds of flavors, as opposed to something that's a little bit more raw oak, which would be cedar and has a little bit more of a plankiness to it. So this is definitely not that. It's more into the classic barrel fire toast realm from French oak. So I think that this one is going to stand up well to a classic dish.
Beautiful. Boy, this is one of my all-time favorite wines. Now, claret. Now, what does that mean, or what is the?
Well, the word.
Yeah. What's the origin of the?
Well, this is the flagship wines in the sense that it was the first diamond that we made.
Okay. And that was.
First vintage, I believe, was from the '95 vintage.
Wow.
And I think we released it, if I'm correct, or 94, 95.
Okay.
And I think we released it a couple years later.
Wow.
And it's supposed to be a classic California Cabernet, meaning that it exemplifies the weather patterns.
Okay.
The word claret is actually most associated with what British people were calling a French Bordeaux-style red wine.
Oh, nice.
So that's the origin of the word, but really what it is Cabernet.
Okay. Excellent.
So if you actually read some old literature, the people will talk about, oh, I had a claret. You know, it's like, what is that? Well, it's Bordeaux red.
Okay. Nice. Cool. Cheers, everybody out there.
Cheers.
Cheers, Evan. Oh man, one of my all-time favorites.
Do you have a question?
Yes, please. Question.
Maria wants to know if effectively you're okay to share your hot dog recipes.
Of course. Yeah, definitely. Any specific questions that you have? post them in the comments section there, and we'll make sure that we get back to you in the next couple days or so. We'd be happy to share that. No secrets here with the hot dogs. So let us know what you'd like to know, and we'll be happy to share that information. Thanks for that question. What do you think? Boy, this is the works, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a lot of relish influence. The mustard and relish are kind of like the top things, and then it's just got that nice classic ring to it, right? As opposed to the other one that we just had, which was like hugely spicy.
Right.
This one's just kind of like right down the middle.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, for me, like that's why I was picking the wine there, because it's something that's everybody can gravitate towards, whereas maybe it took a person that's more spicy friendly to enjoy the one previous to this. This one is just like everybody's gonna, that's good.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, all those awesome condiments on there. Really just, hits all different parts of your palate.
Yeah.
Sweet, sour, salty.
Yeah. So if you were to pick, like I was talking about my favorites, this is probably one of the ones I'd pick if I had a large group of people and I had no idea what they wanted. Just pick this one.
Bad for the average here.
Because no one's going to be unhappy. Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, man. Well, we're in the home stretch here, Evan. Thanks for taking all this time hanging out, talking hot dogs and wine.
Sure.
Hopefully we're inspiring some people out there.
Get you out here?
Yes, please. Okay, so we have a few more dishes.
Okay.
This is our last sort of classical hot dog, if you will. We're going to be doing the Cincinnati cheese coney.
Okay.
Okay. So we got a plain bun here. What's called a Hoffy dog. Okay. We're going to add some Cincinnati chili, onions, yellow mustard, and shredded cheddar. So, yeah, Cincinnati chili here. It's sort of a unique chili. As I did some research, so it's a little unconventional, and the incredible staff here brewed us up a batch of this chili. So. It may not be what you're expecting. There's chocolate in this chili. Whoa. Yeah, so there's like 100% unsweetened, sort of dark, rich chocolate.
So is this you like throwing me a curveball?
Yeah.
Because you're asking me to pair with the wine.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
Good luck here, Evan.
Go ahead.
So it's the Cincinnati chili. So we have tomato product, chili powder, of course. But there's some unusual spices in here, like cinnamon, cumin, allspice, cloves. Of course, a little apple cider vinegar and beef. So once again, it's a beanless chili. The way you would order it in Cincinnati is you would order it as a three-way, which means the meat, the chili, and a big old mound of cheese on top. Okay. So that's what we're going to be dishing up here. Okay. Yeah.
Not for the faint of heart.
No, sir. No.
Okay.
Cincinnati cheese coney.
I think I got a wine for you. For that.
All right.
Just grab this.
Thank you. And another item of note is you can in Cincinnati they'll actually serve this on top of spaghetti too. Yeah, which is kind of a cool idea.
As they should.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fun. So as I'm plating up, what are your thoughts here on this one?
Well, one of the hallmarks also of California, I'd say, is Zinfandel. So I'm gonna go with the Diamonds Inn on this one.
The Diamonds Inn. Excellent.
Yeah, because Zin is known for having it's first off it's a big grape. Okay. It's physically large. It's a big vine.
The Zinfandel.
It's got big clusters. It's got big just fruit profile, and it also has thinner skins, and it's got all of these other kind of particularities going on with it. Okay. But it's also known for maybe on the average Californian wine, it's higher alcohol. Okay. It's some people do it with a little bit more of American oak influence, maybe more of vanilla oak influence. Although that's not true. Like sometimes you do it with French, but the point is that it's a wine that I think that some of the flavor components that you were mentioning to me kind of jumped out as something that we should try with.
Okay.
One of the things that happens if you have a wine like this with really kind of intense flavors is that the alcohol kind of gets more intense. Like you can dry it out a little bit. Okay. But however, that being said, one of the things that I pay personal close attention to with our Zin is to try to make it approachable, so it's not like you know how some Zinfandels have like a 17 or 6 huge amounts of alcohol. Like, so most of them, like I'd say around probably 15% alcohol is the average. Okay. But some of them can get up there into the 16 plus range. Wow. But ours, we actually hold it back a little bit to make it a little bit more approachable for most people. Okay. And here's the label here. This is Zinfandel. That's like a crimson label.
I love that.
And so it's definitely a bold wine for a bold hot dog, and I think that sourcing wise, we go a lot from Lodi. Lodi is closely associated with Zinfandel growing, and then we also go from the North Coast, Mendocino, and so it's more those two zones. But I'm thinking that with all of this spiciness and cheese and thickness.
Actually, I think I forgot your onions there. Sorry.
I think with all that the Zin is going to be a good call in this one.
Cool.
It's basically, the intensity of the food matching the intensity of the wine. That's really what I'm trying to look for.
I love that. Yeah, you've mentioned that the intensity. That's a cool way to look at it. Excellent. So, what kind of tasting notes are you getting from this wine as we smell it and taste it?
Kind of cranberry and like boysenberry pie, and a little bit of it's got some more French oak in it. So it's got a little bit of that the mocha toffee that we've kind of seen similarities with the other wines because they have that same kind of oak profile in it too. Yeah. But with this one, the spiciness is also like even more in that kind of like. Whereas if you look at the spiciness for Malbec and Syrah, it's more inky black pepper. Okay. Where with this one, it's a more of more white pepper, more kind of like lighter tones on it. I get a little bit more of almost like a cinnamon in the middle. Yeah. So I'd say that like the real balance is between the oak and the intensity of the entry. So I feel like with this one, like I said, it's not 16% alcohol, so it's not going to blast you. Yeah. So with this one, I feel like it's going to be like approachable and go with this food.
Yeah, love that.
So definitely tasting notes are kind of like a Zin that is more for everybody.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Boy, how great is Evan? You're so knowledgeable. Oh man, I could just listen to you talk wine all day long.
It's fun.
It's fun. Boy, that is terrific. We have such an incredible team here. Wow. Okay, I can't wait to see what you think about that chili. It's different.
Oh wow.
And like you said, there was almost maybe a little cinnamon note in the wine. Maybe that can sort of be picked up by that.
Definitely. Because you were mentioning some spice tones. I get them, for sure.
Boy, nice dog too. The Hoppy Dog. Yeah. Shout out to Hoppy Dog.
It's a bold dog.
Boy, that is great. Great snap. Really. Quite delicious. And great pairing too with that Zin. And that chili is complex, isn't it? And a lot of flavors going on there.
Yeah. It's almost almost like a little bit of a celery on the finish. Like a celery note.
Yeah. We were talking a little earlier. It's almost got that mole quality from that dark chocolate. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Boy, that's really good. What do you think? Cool, huh?
I think we're nailing it.
Yeah. Oh man, that is delicious.
Chef Tim, we have a question.
Yeah, question, please.
What kind of desserts would you recommend for the 4th?
Funny you should ask that. We are going to be getting to a very exciting patriotic dessert here shortly. But, you know, I love you know, we've talked about seasonality right now. The strawberries being terrific. You know, like a strawberry tart or a blueberry tart. You know, I love that. Ice cream cones, boy, you really can't beat that. In our house, my wife and son, they love to have a little supply of cones and then, you know, some different ice creams to try with that. So I think that's terrific. Evan mentioned it earlier. Fresh fruit, I think, is always great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would recommend. You know, seeing what's seasonal. Berries are really, really, I would say, the fruit of choice right now. And ice cream cones, I think they're super fun.
Ice cream is definitely the go-to.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Ice cream sandwiches, those are good.
What about, is flan seasonal or is it non-seasonal?
No, I think that's sort of a year-round type deal.
So you could have, I would say, I love flan.
Oh boy, I love flan too. Like a nice custard with that caramel on top. Oh man, that's one of my all-time favorites. And what a cool presentation too. Like when you flip over the flan and that caramel sauce. Yeah, that's a good one. Good call. Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. All right, well, we're in the home stretch here. One of the more glamorous dogs of all time, and a big hit amongst the kitchen staff. We have here behind Evan right here. This is the classic corn dog. There is no substitute here. Would you like to help yourself to a
absolutely
delicious corn dog here? I think this was invented around the time of the Great Depression in the late 20s. Yeah, I believe so. That's the theory by German immigrants. But I think it got its name just because, quite frankly, kind of looks like an ear of corn, if you will. How do you like your corn dog?
I like to dip it in something.
Like to dip it, yeah. Yeah, a lot of different ways you could take a corn dog, huh?
Yeah, I mean, straight up, or I mean, a little ketchup or not.
Yeah. And the idea is it's a hot dog on a stick, dipped in basically a corn batter and fried to golden perfection.
Okay. A little ketchup.
What do you think? I mean, if you had to choose two wines, one, you know, maybe conventional, and then what would be maybe a crazy off the wall type pairing?
Off the wall. I think with this one, I would go with maybe a canned Pinot Noir.
Cool, that's a great idea.
On the one end of the spectrum, like you're saying, and the other end of the spectrum, I'm going to go with a Malbec, because it's a very hearty thing. Like there's a lot of it's fried, right? So I think that the Pinot is good for kind of like a warm up. So I'm gonna pour this for you, or you can go right out of the can. Actually, let's just do that.
Yeah, it's almost the weekend, huh? Yeah. This is beautiful. This is our Diamond Can Pinot.
Diamond Can Pinot. Yeah, we've started doing that a couple of years ago, and we had a lot of success with it. A lot of people keep it cold.
Yes. Oh yeah, good point. Huh?
And right out of the can's fine, and pour it into a glass is fine. So.
Yeah, boy, that's really refreshing cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't lose any of that fruit. Nice bright.
It's bright, and it has a little bit of a cherry cranberry feel to it, and it kind of lifts it up. So I'm thinking that maybe that's gonna pair well here. Let's try it out.
I love that. And once again, we go to the familycoppola.com, and you can get 6 4-packs of our Diamond Cans for just under $100 plus $5 shipping, and enter the code DiamondCans at checkout. It's great deal. It's over $20 off, and these are, if you haven't had them before, they're just really awesome.
So I think the acid really makes it kind of pair with that.
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
Pinot out of a can, that is just delicious. Man, I'll tell you what, I think this may be my favorite pairing you've done all day.
Really?
Yeah, I like this. That is just, boy, is that not backyard barbecue? I don't know what it is.
Get a little love to that, and then I think that I'm faced with no real wrong choice. So I feel like we just got to go with the flow here. And with Pinot, it's versatile. Yeah. You got to give it that. It's hard to make, but it's versatile.
Yeah, boy, that is terrific. Great job to you and the winemaking team. These wines are just really a joy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really excellent.
Food friendly.
All right, so we're going to really go off with a bang here. So somebody asked a question a minute ago about our favorite desserts to serve on 4th of July. So we're going to do something what's called a rocket pop. Are you familiar with this rocket pop here?
It looks like a lollipop.
It does look like a lollipop. This is a frozen concoction.
Should I be wearing a face guard, or should I be?
You may. This is a rocket pop here. Anybody out there in Facebook land know the origin of this?
Oh, okay.
This beautiful creation here.
Got it.
That is a beautiful patriotic display for this amazing July 4th weekend we're about to embark on. I can't think of a more fitting end to our tasting. Is the rocket pop here. Okay. So how would you ever begin thinking about how to pair this?
Wow, it's like a cherry bomb.
Yeah, that is very cherry and sweet, isn't it?
Yeah. With this one,
oh, man.
I probably would do something a little bit more delicate, just because our rosé is actually dry.
Cool.
We make a rosé, a diamond collection that is a rosé from Pinot Noir.
Nice.
So it's just another take on Pinot.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pour this for you. 1 second.
Okay, cool. Boy, that's a great idea.
I think
so it's nice and dry, a little less sweet.
The wine is dry, and obviously the dessert is sweet.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
Beautiful label too. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anybody looking for a cool dessert, go out there and get yourself some rocket pops and a bottle of our diamond rosé of Pinot Noir. Boy,
so you're thinking that if you're like cooking for your friends at your house, are you thinking I'm gonna make my dessert, or do you think then that you're gonna like buy your dessert? What's your go-to normally?
Oh boy, you know, when it comes to desserts, I would sort of lean towards the side of buying ice cream or something like that. But you know, not to say I don't like making desserts, but you know, usually when I get through the savory side of things, I'm ready just to open
relax.
a pint of ice cream.
I don't know about you guys, like if I'm doing a barbecue all day and like I just want to like sit down.
Yeah.
I don't want to like do another thing.
Absolutely.
So I tend to like just serve something that I bought.
Yep. Or ask.
So cheers.
Cheers, Evan. Thank you. Boy, this is a great call too. What a beautiful wine.
Yeah. It's like it's almost got like a saltiness to it, and then it's dry, and it's got like the same kind of florals that you can get on a Pinot Noir. And so I'm thinking like it's fun. It's people say rosé all day, and I feel like rosé is versatile, and you can have it with sweet dishes. Yeah. I personally like it with fruits. Yeah.
Love that.
Cherry ice cream, cherry popsicle, rosé. For me, it makes sense.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Boy, I wish everybody out there could try this. This is really cool. What a fun way to end our Facebook Live session, huh? I got one more fun treat for us before we say goodbye.
You gonna light a firework?
Yeah, might as well. These are, what are these things called? Sparklers. Sparklers, of course, yeah. So, Evan, boy, what a treat it's been to have you here. Okay. And everybody out there at Facebook Live land, thank you so much for joining us.
Is it lit?
This was just so much fun. Hopefully we can get this sparkler going.
Is it lit?
I don't know. But don't forget, familycoppola.com. Get yourself 6 4-packs of our diamond cans.
I think I might have liftoff.
Oh, there we go.
I think you just have to give it a little bit of a love.
There we go. Thank you. Everybody have a happy and safe 4th of July. Enjoy some of these tremendous Coppola Diamond wines that Evan and the incredible winemaking team has made for us. And get out there and try some of those regional hot dogs.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure, Evan. Thank you so much. Happy 4th, everybody. Thank you.